Time for some more extreme economics. Today we must talk about the government and their debt. But first we must talk about the government deficit. Deficit. What is deficit? The government deficit is how much money the government loses every year because they spend money and they collect money from tax. The difference is the deficit. How much money do they lose every year? So, first we have to look at tax revenues. Tax revenues. That's how much money do they collect in tax? How much tax do they take? Okay? Then we have to subtract expenditures. Expenditures is how much money did they spend. So, we have to look at tax revenues minus expenditures equals a surplus or a deficit. So, if we collect $1 billion and we spend like $500 million, then our surplus is $500 million. That's because we collected more than we spent, and that's good. That's good. A surplus is good. A surplus means we collected more tax than we spent. That's good. So, that means a deficit is bad. A deficit is bad. So, remember, every year the United States government and Canadian government and many governments run a deficit. So they lose money every year, and that adds up. The total deficits from the beginning of time is called the government debt. The government debt. The government debt is how much money does the government owe to other countries. This is also called the national debt. The national debt. National means country, so the country debt. And if you've ever heard of the national debt clock, you know, the national debt is how much money we owe, and a clock is keeping track. So this is a thing that keeps track and counts how much debt that our country owes. And the United States is about $14 trillion that they owe to the rest of the world.